Welcome back to InsureWright Insight. We've covered the AI landscape and introduced the InsureWright platform. Now it's time to get strategic. Where can we win? Who are the real competitors? What segments are saturated? And what's wide open? This episode is a deep dive into market analysis. If you're evaluating InsureWright for investment, partnership, or adoption, or if you're trying to understand where evidence-grade extraction fits in a competitive landscape, this is the episode that answers those questions. Let me give you the headline up front. InsureWright occupies a unique position at the intersection of document extraction and evidence production. No competitor addresses both submission intake, the market's number one AI use case, and AI transparency, the market's top concern with cryptographic evidence. That's our wedge. And the competitive intelligence confirms that this wedge opens up some surprisingly large opportunities. But I want to be honest in this episode. We'll cover strengths, but we'll also cover weaknesses, threats, and the competitive moves that keep us sharp. No rose-tinted glasses. Let's get into it. Let's map the competitive landscape systematically. We conducted a comprehensive audit across more than 30 vendors with relevance to European, UK, and Irish brokerage operators. What emerged is a market that's splitting into two distinct layers. The first layer. Core brokerage platforms that control distribution workflows, the broker management systems, policy administration systems, e-trading platforms. These are the rails that insurance transactions run on. Acturis dominates the UK with 165.5 million in revenue, over 32,000 users, and 18.5 billion in annual premium flowing through their platform. They've launched Acturis Predict with 2 ML models for cross-sell and propensity to renew. They've launched Acturis Unify for AI-driven placement strategy with granular insurer appetite matching. Aviva was the first insurer on Unify. Open Reserves. 600 plus brokers and NGS across the UK and Ireland with over 14,000 users. They've partnered with OpenDialogue for conversational AI agents integrated into their PAL platforms. They're claiming potential savings of 120,000 per year per broker on MTA, handling alone, though that's a projected estimate from pilot stage, not confirmed production date. With Applied Epic withdrawn from the UK market as of June 2025, these two platforms effectively control access to UK brokers at scale. Any AI solution that doesn't integrate with at least one of them faces structural disadvantage. That's a market reality we take seriously. The second layer, augmentation solutions, automating high-leverage steps, submission intake, document intelligence, risk decisioning. This is where InsureWright competes directly. Let me profile the key competitors and be specific about where we differentiate and where they have advantages we don't. Indico Data. Indico Data. Transfer learning platform, Fortune 500 deployments, handles 120 plus product lines, and 900 plus document types. Good Guidewire. Integration. They have enterprise credibility. We don't have yet. But no word-level provenance. Extracted values. Lack source coordinates. No cryptographic audit trail. Cloud-dependent architecture. England-dependent. When a regulated buyer asks, prove this extraction is correct from the source document, Indico can show confidence scores. We can show Merkle proofs. IVN. Gartner Magic Quadrant Leader for intelligent document processing. Polished human-in-the-loop workflows, strong on standardized forms like a core. They have analyst recognition and market visibility. But single-pass extraction with one engine. No multi-perspective verification. Iron. No cross-document collision detection. Confidence scores, not cryptographic proofs. If two documents disagree, hyperscience won't tell you. Deep insurance expertise, strong fraud detection, well-funded. But here's a finding that surprised us. 0 direct broker customers. Shift is 100 carrier focused. Their underwriting module is secondary to claims. They're actually irrelevant to the broker competitive landscape, despite often appearing in competitive analysis because of their insurance AI profile. And technology. ISO 42001, certified first mover on AI governance standards. Named customers, including Bowhead, Convex, EG, and Renre, with 3.5 billion in GBP flowing through their platform. Their controlled agentic AI messaging resonates powerfully with regulated buyers. But they're primarily insurer-oriented, not broker-native. And their governance posture relies on process certification, not architectural evidence. Certification says, we follow the rules. It doesn't say here is the cryptographic proof. Artificial Labs. This is the one to watch. Deepest London market broker traction of any AI native vendor. 45 million series. B, led by Commerce Ventures. Named customers include BMS Group, Lockton, and McGill and Partners. PL integration for digital placing. They're solving a real high-value problem. Getting complex specialty risks placed digitally. But, and this is key, they're focused on placement workflows, not extraction provenance. No audit packs. No verification capability. Their value proposition is speed to market and digital contract building. Ours is evidence-grade extraction. These aren't competing value propositions. They're potentially complementary. Full Circle, now owned by Enkino after a 135 million acquisition, is the broker data enrichment standard. Partners reported 55 XOI. 1.8 million in value in their first 2 months. BIBA official facility, offered at discount to all 1,800 BIBA members. Their focus is prospecting, KYC, AML screening, and consumer duty compliance. Again, complementary rather than competitive with extraction and evidence. Now let's crystallize where InsureWright wins. I'll frame this as 3 distinct advantages: technical, commercial, and regulatory. Technical advantage. Start with word GPS provenance. Every word traced to exact physical coordinates with cryptographic proof. No competitor offers this. It's not that competitors have a weaker version, they don't have a version at all. Multi-perspective extraction with 7 independent engines, PDF Plumber, PMAPDF, Tesseract, Paddlelocker, EasyOcker, Doctor, and Surya. Single engine failure doesn't compromise results. Deterministic pipeline. Same input produces same output, no model drift, no silent changes. LLM independence core extraction is LM free. AI is sandbox to budget capped remediation at a single pipeline stage. Let me make the difference concrete with a comparison. Our traditional A extraction approach. LM reads document, produces JSON output, no source locations, no way to verify independently, model versions change silently. Audit trail equals. The AI said so. InsureWright approach. Multiple engines extract with physical coordinates, every value traced to exact page position, independent Merkle proof, verifies every word. Results are reproducible because the pipeline is deterministic. And the audit trail is a cryptographic proof chain that any third party can verify without our involvement. When a competitor says, we have 95 accuracy, ask them a simple question. Prove any specific extraction is correct. Not statistically, specifically. Show me the proof for this word on this page of this document. With InsureWright, you can do that for every word in every document. Advantage. Deployment flexibility. Runs locally, air-gapped, on-prem or cloud. No mandatory SaaS model. Remember that 24 of brokers cite legacy technology as their biggest barrier. They can't always rip and replace their infrastructure. And large insurers increasingly resist sending submission data to cloud AI providers because of data sovereignty concerns. InsureWright's local deployment is a natural fit for both. The mid-market opportunity. Large brokerages are building proprietary Aon has. Aon capped with 62,000 users. Marsh McLennan reports 1 million hours saved. They have internal teams and massive budgets. They're not our buyers. The regional and provincial brokers, the 1,400 plus, firms that make up the majority of BIBA's 1,800 members, can't build their own AI. They need a productized, evidence-grade solution they can adopt without an internal AI team. That's our market. And the numbers confirm the opportunity. 45 of national brokers have adopted some form of AI DWI. Only 9 of regional brokers have. That 36 percentage point gap represents the addressable market. Regulatory advantage. InsureWright's architecture maps naturally to emerging regulatory requirements. The NAIC Model Bulletin on AI demands explainability. FCA Consumer Duty requires demonstrable, fair outcomes. Lloyd's decentralized requirements need standardized, auditable data exchange. The EU AI Act requires conformity assessments, automated logging, and human oversight. GDPR Article 22 addresses automated decision-making. We built for this landscape. War GPS traces every value to source. Baggett packs provide complete evidence chains. Deterministic pipeline with auditable artifacts at every stage. Human in the loop. Collision resolution. All. GDPR modular with PE scanning, data minimization, retention management, and cryptographic erasure certificate. Each of these maps to a specific regulatory requirement. Now let's identify the highest value, lowest competition opportunities. I'm going to use data from the saturation heat map, a systematic assessment of competition intensity by workflow segment and broker market size. Submission intake and structured data pipeline. No, but high value, competitive, but not saturated. This is our core capability already built. 42 of London market brokers cite this as their top AI use case. We're addressing the market's most cited need. Competition exists in UK Enterprise End, Citora and Artificial Labs. All have presence, but UK mid-market, UK SMB Ireland, and continental Europe are all wide open. No credible vendor has locked up any of those segments. Policy and coverage intelligence for renewals. High value, low competition. Natural extension of extraction plus provenance. Compare coverage across policy periods. Flag AO risk. Produce evidence trails showing exactly what changed and what was reviewed. Drought. Demonstrated automated policy checking. In claims reducing Zurich UK's policy document review from 30 minutes per claim to second. A parallel brokerage capability, automated coverage comparison, at renewal and binding faces, essentially zero competition. This is a roadmap item for us, not a core feature today, but the architecture supports it. When your extraction already produces word-level provenance for every term in a policy document, comparing that to a renewal document with the same provenance is a natural extension. I-governance as a client-facing trust differentiator. Differential. High value. Underexploited. This is a fascinating one. Court-grade audit packs plus ISO. 42001. Alignment is an underleveraged go-to-market asset. Zen's certification at ESO 42001 validates that governance posture sells in the London market. Buyers want to know that their AI is governed, auditable, and defensible. We can position similarly, but with a critical difference. Zen's governance is process-based. We follow the rules, and here's the certificate that proves it. InsureWright's governance is architectural. Here's the cryptographic proof chain for every extraction, and here's a standalone verifier any third party can run. Process certification and architectural evidence aren't competing approaches. Ideally, you'd have both. But if you can only have one, the evidence is more powerful because it's independently verifiable. Broker market, interoperability. Moderate value, open opportunity. Baggett packs could serve as a standardized verifiable evidence format for market-wide data exchange. This aligns with Lloyd's blueprint to modernization and the broader push toward digitized placement. 78 of brokers say they're proceeding with their own technology strategies, regardless of market infrastructure. Baggett packs could become the common evidence format that bridges different systems. And here's the big one, policy checking and validation. Highest value, zero competition. I want to emphasize this. No UK or EU native vendor offers dedicated AI policy checking for brokers. The leader in this space is Exion, which is US-based and has no confirmed UK customers. Their claim of serving 6 of the world's top 15 brokers is unverifiable, no named customers. Think about what policy checking means for brokers. Liability reduction. Evidence that you reviewed the right documents, extracted the right terms, identified the right coverage gaps. When a claim arises and coverage is disputed, you have the cryptographic trail showing exactly what the policy said when it was bound. That's not a nice to have, that's a liability shield. InsureWright's extraction and provenance architecture is the natural foundation for policy checking. We already extract every term with word-level provenance. Extending that to compare issued policies against quotes and binders is a logical next step into a segment with zero competition and high value. Let me read you the saturation heat map across broker segments. Submission, intake. Competitive in UK enterprise, open everywhere else. Data extraction. Competitive in UK enterprise, open in UK, mid, UK, SMB, Ireland, and U. Policy checking and validation. Open across every single segment, UK enterprise, UK mid, UK SMB, Ireland, and U. Renewal automation. Competitive in enterprise and UK mid, open in SMB and U. No segment is truly saturated for UK brokers, and virtually every segment is wide open for UK SMB, Irish, and continental European broker. Let me give you the honest SWOT assessment. Not the marketing version, the real one. Strengths. Court-graded evidence trail. No competitor offers standalone third-party verification. Vår GPS provenance unique in the market. Multi-perspective extraction with consensus voting across 7 engines. Deployment flexibility local, air-gapped cloud, your choice. Deterministic pipeline with reproducible results. LM independence for core extraction. Regulatory first architecture that maps to NAIC, FCA, Lloyd's, UAI Act, and GDPR required. Weaknesses? And we need to be candid about these. Early stage company, no fortune. 500 deployments yet, and in this market, enterprise references matter. Smaller team constraints feature velocity. We can't build everything at once. No pre-built integrations with the major core platforms. Guidewire, Duck Creek, Majesco. That's a gap. Okra processing is thorough but slower than single-engine competitors. About 110 seconds on CPU for complex scanned document. We're trading speed for thoroughness, which is the right trade for evidence-grade extraction, but some buyers will want faster. Regex-based field matching. May need pattern library expansion for complex layouts and non-standard document formats. Opportunities. Regulatory tailwinds are strong NAIC, FCA, Lloyd's, and the UAI Act all demand explainable, auditable AI. That's the direction the market is moving, and we're already there architecturally. Market survey validation, 42. Cite our exact use case as their top priority. Mid-market brokerage gap large, firms built internally. Mid-market needs a product. Post-breach trust deficit, every high-profile AI failure or insurtech collapse drives demand for verifiable extraction. On-prem demand. From large insurers, resisting cloud IBAN client. Policy checking white space, zero competition, high value. Ireland as an adjacent market, 1,200 broker firms, near zero AI penetration, close UK's. Threats. Well, and again, honesty matters here. LM extraction accuracy is improving, though provenance remains an architectural advantage that LM accuracy improvements don't address. Large vendor acquisitions could change the landscape. Guidewire or Duck Creek could bundle a competitor. Incumbent platform, AI embedding. Acturus and OpenGI are adding AI capabilities into their BMS platforms, which means AI delivered where brokers already work, with zero procurement friction. Open source alternatives could lower build versus buy barriers. Market education is required. Buyers don't yet distinguish between AI extraction and evidence-grade extraction. That distinction matters enormously for compliance and liability, but it's not yet part of the common vocabulary. We have to educate the market, which takes time and resources. And then there's the BMS duopoly gatekeeper risk. With Applied Epic gone from the UK, Acturus and OpenGI have effective veto power over which AI tools reach brokers at scale. Any vendor that doesn't have integration with at least one of these platforms faces structural headwinds. The AU AI Act compliance cliff is a specific risk worth noting. August 2nd, 2026. Deadline. High risk. Classification. No. NRC. ILDI. SMES not exempt. B. G. Technical standards expected spring or summer 2026, leaving little implementation time. This is simultaneously our biggest threat and our biggest opportunity. Compliant vendors gain advantage. Non-compliant vendors face existential regulatory risk. Let's bring it together. InsureWright's competitive position is built on 3 pillars: technical differentiation through evidence architecture, commercial fit with the underserved mid-market, and regulatory alignment with emerging compliance requirements. The highest value opportunities are submission intake, our core capability, and policy, checking the open white space where we're the natural foundation. The adoption gap between national brokers at 45 and regional brokers at 9 defines our addressable market. Ireland and continental Europe extend that market further. The core thesis. As insurance regulation tightens and trust in black box AI erodes, the market will shift from AI that gives you answers to AI that gives you evidence. InsureWright is built for that future. The question is not whether the market will demand evidence-grade extraction, it's when. And every regulatory deadline, every AI failure, every compliance investigation accelerates that timeline. Next episode, we're tackling a topic that might surprise you. Why the SaaS model is on rocky ground. Why solutions like InsureWright may actually land better as not SaaS. The economics of vendor dependency and what it means for buyers. See you there.